Shalom. This week's Torah portion is Toldot. And let's see, it is Genesis 25:19 through 28:9. And the Haftarah is Malachi 1 verses 1:1 through 2:7. And the New Covenant portion is Romans 9:6 through 13. I'm going to start right off in Genesis 25, verse 19. These are the records of the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean of Padan Aram, the sister of Lavan, the Aramean, to be his wife. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was barren. And the Lord answered him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. But the children struggled together within her, and she said, "If it is so, why then am I this way?" So she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two people will be separated from your body. And one people shall be stronger than the other, and the older shall serve the younger." When her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Now the first came forth red, all over like a hairy garment, and they named him Esau. Afterward, his brother came forth with his hand holding on to Esau's heel, so that his name was called Yaakov, Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when she gave birth to them. How interesting is that? If you really pay attention to what the word tells us, he was 40 when he married Rebekah. And certainly they probably wanted children right away because he was already 40. But then it was 20 years when we saw this prayer for her be fulfilled, that she would have a baby. And then she had these two boys. So we get to chapter 26, and it says, there was a famine in the land besides the previous famine that had occurred in the days of Abraham. So Isaac went to Gerar, to Avimelech, king of the Philistines. The Lord appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land of which I shall tell you. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. For to you and to your descendants I will give all these lands, and I will establish the oath which I swore to your father Abraham. I will multiply your descendants as the stars of heaven, and will give your descendants all these lands, and by your descendants all the nations of the earth shall be blessed, because Abraham obeyed me and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." And so here we see the covenant that God made with Abraham. He is continuing it with Isaac. And we see the very same promise that he gave to Abraham, that his children would be like the stars. He gives that same promise to Isaac, and also that same messianic promise that through his descendants, all the nations of the earth would be blessed. And truly here it says descendants in the plural. So not just through the Messiah would the nations be blessed, but through his children. And we see that so fulfilled today in the things that the Jewish people have managed to accomplish and bless the world with so many things in the areas of medicine and technology and agriculture. We see how the whole world really is blessed through Israel. So we continue on, and in chapter 26, verse 6, Isaac makes the very same mistake that his father Abraham did. Isaac lived in Gerar, and when the men of the place asked about his wife, he said, "She is my sister," for he was afraid to say, "She is my wife," thinking that the men of the place might kill me on account of Rebekah, for she is beautiful. So he did exactly what his father had done. But Avimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out through a window, and he saw, and behold, Isaac was caressing his wife Rebekah. And Avimelech called Isaac, and he said, "Certainly she is your wife. How then did you say she is my sister?" So he did the exact thing that his father did. Going on into chapter 26, verse 12, Isaac sowed in that land, and he reaped in the same year 100-fold, and the Lord blessed him. And the man became rich, and he continued to grow richer until he became very wealthy, like his father, Abraham. In verse 18, Isaac dug again the wells of water, which had been dug in the days of his father, Abraham, for the Philistines had stopped them up after the death of Abraham. And he gave them the same names that his father had given them. But when Isaac's servants dug in the valley and found there a well of flowing water, the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with the herdsmen of Isaac, saying, "The water is ours." So he named the well Esek, because they contended with him. Then they dug another well, and they quarreled over it too. So he named it Sitnah. He moved away from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he named it Rehovot, for he said, "At last the Lord has made room for us, and we will be fruitful in the land." You know what this reminded me of? Remember back in the story with Abraham and Lot. And both of them increased so much that their herdsmen, there started to be strife between the herdsmen. And Abraham said, "Let there be no strife between us." And once again, we see Isaac just, every time there's strife, he goes and he digs another well, that there would be no strife. The importance of keeping strife out of our life. Then in chapter 26, verse 23, then he went up from there to Beersheba. The Lord appeared to him the same night and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Do not fear, for I am with you. I will bless you and multiply your descendants for the sake of my servant Abraham." So he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants dug a well. So we see God appearing to Isaac and that relationship between them growing. When we get to chapter 27, it says, "Now it came about when Isaac was old and his eyes were too dim to see, that he called his older son Esau, and he said to him, 'My son.' And he said, 'Here I am.' Isaac said, 'Behold now, I am old and I do not know the day of my death. Please take your gear, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and hunt game for me, and prepare a savory dish for me, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, so that my soul may bless you before I die.'" Now, Rebekah was listening. We know how this story goes, that Esau was especially beloved of his father. Esau loved the field. He was a man's man. He loved to be outside hunting, and his father especially favored him. Rebekah especially favored Yaakov, who liked more to be around the house. So Rebekah heard this conversation. She says to him, to Yaakov, Jacob, "Listen, go get me a goat from the flock, and I will prepare this food that your father loves, and then you take it into your father and you get the blessing." And so he listened to the voice of his mother. That's what he did. And he went in and he tricked his father. His mother even put the skins of the goats on him, because Esau was very hairy and Yaakov was not hairy. And so she put the skins of the goats on him to trick his father, so that when his father felt his arms, he said, "Wow, well, this must be Esau." So his father Isaac said to him, "Please come close and kiss me, my son." So he, meaning Yaakov, he came close and kissed him. And when he smelled the smell of his garments, because his mother had also put the clothes of Esau on Yaakov, he blessed him. Listen to this blessing. He said, "See, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Now may God give you the dew of heaven and of the fatness of the earth and an abundance of grain and new wine. May people serve you and nations bow down to you. Be master of your brothers, and may your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be those who curse you, and blessed be those who bless you." Basically, in that blessing, He gave him everything. And we see also this same blessing that was on Abraham. God said, blessed will be the ones who bless you, and I will curse the one who curses you. We see that here in this blessing. Well, what happens next? Esau comes in from the field, and he finds out that his father has, by accident, not knowing, blessed Jacob instead of himself. And Esau said to his father, do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, my father. And so Esau lifted his voice and wept. And then Isaac, his father, answered and said to him, behold, away from the fertility of the earth shall be your dwelling, and away from the dew of heaven from above. By your sword you shall live, and your brother you shall serve. But it shall come about when you become restless, that you will break his yoke from your neck. So Esau bore a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing with which he had blessed him. And Esau said to himself, the days of mourning for my father are near, and then I will kill my brother Jacob. Now, when the words of her elder son Esau were reported to Rebekah, she sent and called her younger son Jacob and said, behold, your brother Esau is consoling himself concerning you by planning to kill you. Now, therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee to Haran, to my brother Laban. And that's what he did. So in chapter 28 of Genesis, Isaac called Jacob and blessed him and charged him and said to him, you shall not take a wife from the daughters of Canaan. Arise, go to Padan Aram, to the house of Bethuel, your mother's father, and from there take to yourself a wife from the daughters of Laban, your mother's brother. May God Almighty bless you and make you fruitful and multiply you, that you may become a company of peoples. May he also give you the blessing of Abraham to you and to your descendants with you, that you may possess the land of your sojournings, which God gave to Abraham. Then Isaac sent Jacob away, and he went to Padan Aram to Laban, son of Bethuel the Aramean, the brother of Rebekah, the mother of Yaakov and Esau. These stories are so good, they're so rich, and I can hardly wait to get into the story of Jacob and Rachel next week, and also Leah. The Lord bless you and guide and guard your steps into everything that he has for you this week. Shalom.